morning, guys. I hope you're all doing well today. I figured I would start reading excerpts of my novel. I had started this beforehand on a previous channel that was throttled, but I'll get a little bit more reach here because we're not throttled. You guys might be interested in what I'm writing. So here's the very beginning of the story. Chapter 1, Handled. Sometimes it is the littlest actions that make the biggest differences. Keep that in mind, Alan. Ingrain it into your racial memory as you embark upon this important task. Hesitate. He panicked as he looked at the clock, lurching awake instantly upon the word pounding through his mind. It was 2 hours past his scheduled departure time, and he had not yet dressed himself, his caramel skin beginning to bead with sweat over his hairless chest. He stood there shaking in terror, knowing in his soul that sidestepping, as they had so keenly grown to call it, no matter how slight, could lead not only to his own decimation, but the utter obliteration of all of his friends and family. It was astonishing to him how quickly he could rise, and once more, how quickly his entire body could reach such peaks of terror that it would drench itself in a puddle of sweat. It took only seconds. "Alan," the answering machine said. "Alan, you were supposed to be in place 3 hours ago. Are you testing us? We were trying to give you a wider berth because you had been doing such a good job. Now you're making us feel foolish for having done so." With every word the machine recited, his heart pounded harder, and that sustenance that rushed through his veins was steadily less and less sufficient to keep him conscious. The high-pitched, condescending tone on this machine continued. "Pick up immediately, or we're going to have to send somebody over there to grab you. You don't want that any more than we do." Having already leapt out of bed, the moment he heard the first chime of the ringtone, Alan bolted to the phone. He had no time to think of a reasonable excuse or some snarky retort, whether it was appropriate for the situation or not. The man on the phone was someone he had always been disgusted by, but Alan had always managed to veil his disgust with some witty joke of dodgy-eyed nature. Alan had leapt toward the phone, but before picking it up, he stood there, quickly caught his breath, and regained his composure. He could not reveal anything to this man, but must always maintain the facade, he thought to himself. Any crack in the wall could lead to a deluge, a flood, whereby no secrets could be kept by him, and the monopoly of information would be solely in the hands of Alan's would-be controllers. He slowly reached toward the receiver, picked it up, and said, "Yeah, I was testing your fat ass to see if you could actually catch me in the apartment." "Relax, I just overslept a little bit. Why are you so upset, Wes?" "You know damned well why I'm so upset." Having finally reached Alan, the high-pitched and condescending voice of Wesley, his name's Wesley James, let out a sigh. Wesley's wheezing was easily heard over the receiver by anyone that could have been in Alan's apartment at the time. Wesley's sigh seemed to be nothing more than a natural transition into his continuing condescension of Alan directly. "You just don't get it, do you? Your simple mind never could really grasp the more complex subject matter of the boss. Oh well, I guess I can persuade him to forgive you once more. Maybe that'll convince you to stop making us look like such fools." All right. Don't get your panties up in a bundle. Tell the boss that I'll be there in about 10 minutes. What stage are we in anyway?" "Stage 2, said Wesley. The world was not at all what it seemed. Where the average person would continue about their daily life, perhaps watching a cat video or two on the internet every once in a while, Alan and Wesley were deeply entrenched in a situation they did not want to be a part of. Even Wesley, who seemed to be a perfect fit for the nefarious deeds that their controllers were carrying out, only put on the facade of arrogance and condescension because he was afraid. Alright, that's the first section that I will read to you guys. I'll come up with another one for you tomorrow. Love y'all. Peace.